Alright, what's up guys? My name is Fears, and welcome to the first episode of the Borderlands 1 Weapon Parts Guide. In this series, we're going over each weapon type and giving a full breakdown of the weapon parts and the bonuses they give the gear. So make sure you see the timestamps in the description if you need to reference this guide again in the future. In this episode, I wanted to start off with one of my favorite weapon types, shotguns. Let's get to it. So firstly, there are two different categories of shotguns, that being combat and assault. Combat shotguns have a slower fire rate, a higher zoom, and they tend to have more damage per shot. And the manufacturers include Dahl, Jacobs, Torg, TDR, and Atlas. Assault shotguns have a higher fire rate with fewer projectiles per shot, and these include Vladov, SNS, Malawan, and Hyperion. Now, going over the parts of the gun, we have our body, mag, barrel, stock, material, and accessory. The grip matches with the manufacturer, and the sights don't give any DPS boosts, so you can go with whatever you want. Starting off with the bodies on the floor, Body 1 is by far the worst out of them all, with a flat out negative 8% to your damage. Body 2 gives a plus 10% to your damage, but has a negative 20% fire rate and plus 30% recoil. Now Body 3 gives you an increase to your fire rate, a decrease to your recoil, and ups the element level, but takes away a little bit of your damage. Now Body 4 gives an upgrade to your damage by 20%, but gives you a negative 30% fire rate and, and plus 50% to your recoil. Now Body 5 is the best option out of this category, giving you plus 20% to your damage, 50% fire rate, and negative 20% recoil. Now, mag size. Magazines. This is an interesting one. Mag 1 gives you a buff in your reloads and equip speed, but you lose a bit of damage. Mag 2 gives you an extra 6 shots, giving it 12, but decreases your reload and your equip speed. Now Mag 3 and Mag 3A are the only two mags that can spawn on assault shotguns. Mag 4 doesn't give really any bonus, then Mag 5 doubles the damage and gives you a good boost to your reload and equip speed, but you only get 2 shots in the mag. Next up are the barrels. Barrel 1 gives you decreased damage by 4%. Barrel 2 gives you a decrease of max inaccuracy by 20%, plus 15% to your damage, but minus 20% to your accuracy, plus 20% to your recoil, and plus 28% to your spread. Now Barrel 3 gives an increase to your accuracy by 30%, a plus 10% increase to your damage, some spread, and an up to your element level. Now Barrel 4 increases damage the most, then increases accuracy, elemental level, and reduces spread, but it increases recoil. Now this is the strongest barrel via damage out of them all, and this is usually what people like to go for the majority of their weapons. However, next up we have Barrel 5, and it's an interesting one because it gives an all-around general stat boost. It doubles your accuracy, it decreases the spread and recoil, and it gives a plus 15% damage boost, which is only half of Barrel 4. Now for some guns, this is really useful, but not useful in others, so it really just depends on what kind of gun you're using. So that's the rest of the normal 5 barrels, but we have 2 that can only spawn on combat shotguns. Goody goody. The first one being the Shredder barrel, which is an offspring of the Barrel 2. This barrel ups the pellet count by 2, giving you 11 pellets per blast. It gives you a bonus to your accuracy and damage, but it increases your recoil and your spread. The Carnage barrel is the most unique, one in the sense that it shoots grenades that explode on impact. It increases your accuracy and damage by like a wee little bit, but it only gives you 1 projectile. And then we have another type of shotgun, that being the Matador, which is a step up from the Shredder, but it's not specified by the barrel, but further down the line, and we'll go over that later. But really, the only important thing is that the Shredder is a step down from the Matador. Now, next up are the stocks. Now, when you look at the item code after the body, there are numbers right after that. That's the stock. Now, confusingly, however, the number corresponds with what mag you have. Now, on screen is a chart of all the stock codes you can find, organized by mag. Now, for example, if you have a Malawan shotgun with a ZPR 330, for example, you'll be like, okay, what's this stock? You would look at that chart. You would see 330, that is under stock 1 mag 3A. Now, stock 0 or stock none doubles the recoil recovery and gives you reload and swap speed, but it increases the recoil by like 40%. Stock 1 increases the recoil recovery, swap speed, recoil, and max accuracy. And stock 2 increases recoil recovery, accuracy, and recoil, but it decreases reload speed and swap speed. And then stock 3 increases your recoil, recoil reduction, and your accuracy, which is pretty good. Next we have the accessories, which unlike other parts, accessories don't have a consistent effect on the weapon. Most accessories are easy to differentiate from each other and will either appear to the left of the receiver or for melee accessories at the bottom of the grip. Accessory 1 for assault shotguns gives a flat 100% melee damage boost, and unlike the jagged accessory for combat shotguns, this bonus is added alongside all other melee damage bonuses, rather than amplifying the final amount like you do with the jagged. Accessory 2 increases your fire rate by 20% and your reload speed by 20%. And weapons with this accessory are eligible for the Raging Prefix. Now, Accessory 3 adds either shock or corrosive tech. Accessory 4 increases your damage and gives the gun a little bit of knockback. And weapons with this accessory are eligible for the Painful Prefix. And Accessory 5 only adds explosive elemental tech because you can't get fire to spawn on assault shotguns. The Accessory 1 for combat shotguns is labeled Jagged, which gives you a 150% melee bonus, and that melee bonus applies to the total of all damage that would be inflicted without the accessory. Accessory 2 ups your fire rate by 40%. Accessory 3 adds either shock or corrosive. Accessory 4, labeled Terrible, increases damage by 13% and knockback by 23%. And unlike assault shotguns, Accessory 5 can add either explosive or fire tech. And there's also the no accessory / accessory none, as it serves as a placeholder for a weapon with conventional behavior. A shotgun with this part will have no accessory visible beside the receiver. The naming of material grades vary from each manufacturer, and each material affects the color of the item and the strength of that manufacturer bonus. Materials are labeled 1 to 3, with the latter being more desirable as it gives you a better bonus than the other two. And each manufacturer has its own set of stat bonuses to, differentiate them from each other. Taking Atlas for example, you can see that each material gets a 5% damage buff, starting with 10% with Mat 1, up to 20% with Mat 3. Material 1 doesn't have a name, and this applies to all manufacturers. Mat 2 has the white prefix, and Mat 3 has the pearl prefix. And as you can see, with each material grade, the weapon skin becomes more pristine, reflecting on the quality of the weapon. Other than unique weapons, a shotgun's name consists of the body title, the model number from the stock and mag, a manufacturer-specific code, as we just discussed, a prefix or an accessory derived from its attributes, and a title. And starting with the titles, they each have the chance to further increase or decrease weapon stats. For example, if an assault shotgun spawns with the death title, it decreases minimum accuracy by 25%, but it increases critical hit bonus by 15%. And it becomes the death title because the spread is at a low enough percentage because of the parts it came with, it has the death title. For non-unique shotguns, these titles include Shotgun, funnily enough, with balanced stats and fires 9 projectiles, although if it does have the Hunter's prefix, it can fire 7. Carnage has the "Holy crap, it shoots rockets!" white text, which shoots a single small rocket instead of projectile. Scattergun gives you +2 projectiles, giving you 11. Shredder also has 11 pellets, but it has a wider spread. And then a Matador has +3 projectiles, giving it 12, and it also has a wide spread. For assault shotguns, we have Brute, which gives you high damage, Death, which gives high accuracy, and Sweeper, which has a higher spread and +1 projectile, giving you 8. Prefixes work the same as titles. Each prefix has to reach a certain requirement and a high enough priority level to apply the bonus stats. The most common prefixes you'll find are elemental, like incendiary, explosive, pestilent, etc. And these are determined by the tech level the gun has. The higher the tech, the fancier the name. For shock, we have shock, static, lightning, and fulgurating, for example. And these prefixes don't do anything, but they just show you the tech level that you have. However, prefixes like angry and brute do change various stats like reload speed and damage respectively. Now lastly is the rarity, which isn't really a part of the shotgun, but it's important in terms of BL1, weapon parts. Every part, prefix, and title has an assigned rarity number on them, and once the gun is constructed, the numbers are added together. In terms of what you need to know for rarity numbers, not that it matters, blues are around the mid-10s, purples the late teens, up to the mid-30s, legendaries vary from the mid-50s to the high 70s, and then this is why you see different shades of orange. The overall parts didn't have a high rarity number, indicating that you got a less rare or least optimal parts for your weapon. And with that being said, that's going to do it for the shotgun weapon parts. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully this guide was helpful and you learned something, because I definitely did. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to leave a like and leave a comment if you have any thoughts. Did you guys know the weapon parts in this game? Did you learn something new? Let me know. My name is Fierce, and I'm going to see you all in the next one. See ya.